The world is a safe place most of the time. Occasionally, things happen that cause it to be unsafe. Whether the causes are from natural disasters or man made disasters, you need to be prepared. In today's fast paced and interconnected world, we often take our safety and security for granted. We go about our daily lives enjoying the comforts and conveniences of modern society, but deep down, we all know that the unexpected can and does happen. Natural disasters from hurricanes to earthquakes can strike with little warning, leaving communities devastated and lives forever changed. Man made disasters, whether they come in the form of economic crisis, cyber attacks, or civil unrest, can disrupt our way of life in an instant. That's where prepping comes in. It's not about living in fear or expecting the worst at every turn. It's about being proactive, responsible, and self reliant. It's about acknowledging that in an uncertain world, having a plan and the necessary supplies can mean the difference between safety and chaos. Join us as we delve into the world of prepping, where preparedness is a way of life. We'll explore the essential skills, gear, and knowledge you need to navigate whatever challenges may come your way. From building a well stocked emergency kit to learning life saving survival techniques, we'll cover it all. But prepping is more than just stockpiling supplies. It's about a mindset of resilience and self sufficiency. It's about fostering a sense of community and cooperation because in times of crisis, we're often at our best when we come together. So, whether you're new to prepping or a seasoned survivalist, stay tuned because in this series, we'll empower you to take control of your safety and security. In a world where SHTF moments can happen, remember it's not about if, but when. And when that time comes, you want to be prepared. Hi, this is Danny Weber, and today we're going to be talking about preparing for disasters. And we've put together a comprehensive guide to survival and resilience based on a three-part YouTube series. What if all of a sudden the electricity went out and is expected to be out for an extended period of time? The water stops immediately thereafter, and the grocery stores, pharmacies, and convenience stores only accept cash or its equivalent because they cannot power their credit card machines anymore. In addition to that, bank ATMs stop working and branches are closed. Gas stations can no longer pump gas because they have no electricity. And your cell phone doesn't work because the towers have no power. What would you do right now, and how long would you survive in this type of situation? Here are your considerations: food, water, medicines, cash or its equivalent, mobility, communication, hygiene and sanitation, safety and security for you and your family, electricity, what you have to barter, neighborhood and family cooperation, plus a lot more. If you took a moment to think through this scenario, you may realize that by failing to plan and prepare, you could possibly bring about disastrous consequences for you and your family up to and including serious illness, injury, or death. I think we can all agree that for most of us that have experienced natural or man-made disasters, we can't count on the government completely. Most of us believe that it can't happen to me. And I want to outline some recent events that illustrate otherwise. And we'll start with the Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria in 2017. People were without power there for up to several months. The Northeast blackout of 2003, several days. Hurricane Katrina hits home. I'm from New Orleans, and a lot of my family and friends went through Hurricane Katrina, and they were without power for weeks or months, and even without water for just as long. Ice storm of 1998, several weeks without power. Superstorm Sandy of 2012, more than a week without power. California wildfires that are occurring almost yearly now and going days or even longer without power. Let's look at some death tolls from recent disasters. Hurricane Katrina, 1,800 people. 1974 super outbreak of tornadoes, 319. Mexico City earthquake, 10 to 30,000 people. 2011 Joplin tornado, 158 people. 1995 Chicago heat wave, 700 people. 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, 63 deaths. Hurricane Ike in 2008, 195 deaths. and the 2018 Camp Fire in California, which led to 85 deaths. And we are all familiar with what happened during the pandemic, and I'm not here to debate politics, science, the severity, information, misinformation. We're just going to focus on the government failures that we all experienced. One of them obviously was the lack of preparedness, certainly the delayed response, whether it be a good or bad response, testing and contact tracing that started strong and went by the wayside extremely quickly, communication breakdown and inconsistent communication, lack of coordination between local, state, and federal governments, inadequate healthcare systems on all levels, the vulnerable populations were neglected, economic support was delayed, and political interference in science, which we're still dealing with today as of September of 2023. One of the most recent events that I went through was the winter storm of 2021 in Texas. I was without power and water for 5 days in Austin. The economic toll of that storm ranges from 80 billion to 130 billion, and the total loss of life as a result of that storm was 246 in 77 counties. What are the effects of not planning properly? Here's some of the big effects: malnutrition and health, increased mortality, which can be traced in most ways to unclean drinking water. There's also an increased impact on children and elderly. And then from a global perspective, malnutrition contributes to nearly 45% of deaths in children under the age of 5, and lack of access to clean water and sanitation leads to around 800 deaths annually from diarrhea alone. In addition to that, when you don't plan properly, you can experience financial ruin, mental health issues, and then, of course, illness, injury, and death. One of the most important things you can do to prepare is clean your water, or have the ability to clean your water. Drinking unclean water can lead to gastrointestinal infections, diarrhea, cholera, waterborne parasite infections, waterborne bacterial infections, waterborne viral infections, vector-borne diseases, chemical contaminants entering the body, heavy metals, pesticides, industrial chemicals, skin conditions, and respiratory problems. It's extremely important that you buy some type of water filtration system, both portable and something that works for your entire house. In addition to the physical issues that will be evident from not preparing, you may experience some long-term mental issues. And they are about the same in children and adults, but they include depression, anxiety, stress, substance abuse, and suicidal ideation. In addition to that, PTSD may set in depending on the severity and the longevity of the disaster. Thank you for completing part 1 of the 3-part series. Please watch part 2 now, Getting Prepared, where we dive into actual specifics and specific actions you need to take to get prepared.